folks, well, it's been a while. We've been places, seen some things. Leafs have coming off a pretty nice one. We're going to break it all down for you right here.
You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey.
Hey folks, welcome to the OZone. That's Coach. That's Katie. I'm the Diva. We're here to talk all things Leafs. Listen, I'm coming to you from the OZone HQ in Canada's real downtown. Coach, where are you? You're down in Texas, the heart of Texas, I assume.
Absolutely. Big D, we're still ecstatic over Dak Prescott, and that'll last another day or so.
I guess the Horned Frogs let you all down.
Oh.
KD, what's the scene on the east side today?
Well, I'm from Big D too, but we're Big D because of carbs, lots of rice and lots of potatoes. But but we're doing good. We're doing good.
Great. Okay. Well, listen, folks. Before we get started, hit subscribe, ring the bell. You'll never miss any content. Listen, share, like the video. Broadens the audience, leave a comment. You know the drill. Listen, we'd be remiss, folks, if we didn't tell you all about our little OZone trip to the Scotia Arena. We watched the Leafs beat the Preds back on the 11th. Seems like a lifetime ago now. Here are some snaps. It was a real beauty game. Certainly for Nylander and Murray. They went a little bit nuts. We had a beauty time as well. Here's a couple of pics of us with some lucky subscribers that we got to meet between periods. Here's another interesting thing. You'll see from this little clip, we got invited down close to the dressing room to address the team, and really, Coach had a mission here, and he really wanted to offer some encouraging words to Ilya Samsonov. Here it is.
Let's go, Gio. Let's go, boys. Here we go, boys. Take off, boys. Here we go, boys. Take him down, boys. Take him down. Go, Willie. Go, Willie. Go, boys. Go, Minky. You're my man, Ilya.
All right, Coach, your boy. You went down with the team to Detroit after that. You wanna talk about that little road trip?
Yeah, he didn't respond right away. Yeah, some people will be bitter about seeing the Leafs back to back. We went to that Nashville game, and then I went the next night in Detroit. That Matthews didn't play either game. I'm not bitter. Can't be bitter, We saw Murray really good in that game against Nashville. Actually, Samsonov was really good because the Leafs were not good against Detroit. Samsonov made a number of big saves. And it was 2-1 late, pulled the goalie and they scored. And then they got a cheap one on him at the end. So that was unfortunate. But, hey, Little Caesars Arena, it's nice. It has a lot of stuff that Scotiabank doesn't, like really, big concourse. So between periods, you got room to move around and stuff.
Right.
It was nice. It was a good event. I was there because our team, the Texas Tigers, had a tournament there in Detroit over Martin Luther King weekend. So it was a lot of fun. We made the final. Our team got to play at the University of Michigan's rink in the final. It was awesome. It's way bigger than Mullet Arena where the Coyotes play, because I've been to that place. This place is bigger. It was pretty cool. So not a great night for us in Detroit, but hey, we're rolling since then.
Yeah. So Katie, Coach talked about his trip down to Detroit. The team didn't fare that well. But then the Leafs took their game on the road to Boston. You want to break that down a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, for those who don't know, the coach is giving motivational speeches now. So if you want to hire him out, it's I think it's $2,500 a gig. But you got to
wait a game. So
Yeah.
you'll dip, and then we're going to talk about what happens after.
And absolutely.
slow burn.
It takes a little while to sink in. It takes a little while to sink in, but when it does, you're ready to go.
You're my man, Elliot.
Yeah, the Boston game, there's sort of, I think, pros and cons there. High event game, so neither coach is going to be happy when they look at the film on that one. And the Leafs lost due to self-inflicted wounds. There was a couple horrible plays and that really cost them the game. But there's certain parts of it I really liked. As good as Boston's been and good their record is, they don't to me look like a team. They don't look to me like their record. So I think they're beatable. I think when Matthews went on with Marner, they dominated the end of that game. They actually even dominated Bergeron's line, which was a good thing. But the Leaf D right now is out of sorts. With Brody going down and Riley not being 100% back. They're really struggling trying to find him a pair and then trying to get the rest of the group going. So if they can settle down that D-core, I think it reduces a bit of those self-inflicted wounds, and I think they'll be just fine. Because I was quite pleased with from center in with the work of the forwards and even the deeper lines. I thought they were moving their feet pretty good.
Yeah, Murray didn't have his best game in that one either.
No.
So the Leafs come home to Florida. Geez, Florida's been a bit of a disappointment this so far this season, guys. They made some big moves in the offseason after being a flat-out dominant team, finishing first overall, but it hasn't really paid off. And Murray barely played that game. Coach, your boy came in relief. And wow, what a result we got there. Really, the boys seemed to rally behind that goalie change after going down so big so early, and came out with a W. Willie put the team on his back in a lot of ways. What'd you think about that game?
4 goals on 8 shots. That's tough, and we've talked about a couple. The second goal is a 2-man breakaway, basically on the 5-man, the 5-forward power play. Mm-hmm. But there were a few you need to stop. Couldn't get a stop. You need to stop. And Samsonov, to his credit, came in and gave him a couple stops to allow them a chance to get back in that, which was good. You're right. Florida, not great. I don't understand. They are not greater than the sum of their parts. They're not even the sum of their parts. They have a really good roster, and it's just not there for them. For them to cough up that lead, my goodness, right? What a fragile team. And Paul Maurice, he's a good coach, fellas. He's coached a ton of games. He's still kind of young for the amount of games he's coached. They must be just beside themselves. President's Trophy, we got beat by Tampa. Let's make a huge shake-up move. Oh, and fire the coach who won the President's Trophy. Not working out so far. But, hey, we'll take it. That's a big comeback win for us. You're right. 88, Nylander was electric. And it's great to see him going this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I didn't get to call that game because I probably would have called that overtime winner, I think.
That's right. You got to be you.
Just guessing.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
so listen. Around this time, folks, I took a little trip to Montreal to scout the Habs and Jets, seeing that they were both on our schedule coming up. We got some picks rolling through here. A lot of fun. I was surprised. Jets have been on fire of late. Montreal really stomped them out. They just sat back at their blue line and turned the puck over and took it in on Hellebuck and took him deep and drowned him. It was kind of a no-doubter from the opening drop of the ice on. So I was a bit surprised by that. And then, obviously, we see what happened when the Jets come to town. So not an easy road trip for them. But Coach,
I will say this, though. Hey, when the Jets came in, right, so I had the Jets feed. I could only watch the game on the Jets feed, which is insane, right? TSN showing the game with the Leafs feed and their announcers and the Jets feed and their announcers, and that's the one I get. And the shots in the first period were 16-6 for the Jets. They were really strong, and my boy Ilya gave us a chance. He made some big saves. So all the talk throughout the first and into the first intermission is these are Canada's two best teams, and they're saying, I think the edge is to the Jets because both top sixes are good. Both bottom sixes are okay. The defense about the same. We have much better goaltending. And then the second period happened. And by the end of the second, they're like, hey, the better team is up 3-0. The Jets did it. Their best players have not shown up. So I'll give them credit for being honest about that. But come on. Look at their top six. Scheifele, he's a turnover machine. And, hey, fellas, 34 is going, right?
Oh, mercy. I was going to say just about that trip to the Bell Center in Montreal. Nice night out with a few folks I know out there. A nice old Italian restaurant to start off and then walk down to the Bell Center. Sort of like old-timey hockey, And I was talking to KD about this, and we both were thinking old-timey. What makes you think old-timey? How about this pick right here for you, folks? That's old-timey for you.
There's the old coach. I want to say 6'7". I'm surprised the film was color for that picture, if you could call that color.
They colorized it. I think they used the same company for a Christmas.
Hey, Katie, I know you flew these same colors. Those North Toronto green jackets with the big white patch, right? The stripe down the side. Wore that thing all the time.
Yeah,
man.
I had to wear it. Yeah,
wore
it with pride. Wore it with pride.
Yeah.
Okay. So that gets us most of the way up to date on games. Matthews rests for a bit, comes back. He's on fire. Murray started to look a little bit shaky, and all of a sudden Samsonov really is kind of winning the crease of late. KD, anything you want to mention about this team, how they're playing right now?
It's interesting with Matthews going down and taking 2 days off. Though he's scoring, which is great, clearly we want that, but his hands look better than they have all year.
No question.
His feet certainly look better. And obviously he's ripping that puck. Like, those were catch and shoot right away. We haven't really seen that all year. So
none.
I talked before, maybe he had a wrist injury or something. Maybe it's his back or something, but he's certainly, after that breather, he looks like last year's Matthews. Absolutely, like the way he's moving the puck, he's moving his feet. He looks fantastic. And then on the back end, the goal needs to be over the next month is to get 44 Riley right. You might need Brody back, but when the top is struggling, it is very hard to organize the bottom. So we need to solidify the top and let the chips fall where they may. So
we got a little problem there, fellas, and I'm glad that we're rolling again. But Justin Hall played very sparingly with Riley. It didn't look very good. Ben does not look good with him.
Nope.
Connor Timmins, that was, like you alluded to it. It was disastrous in Boston with those two guys.
It's as bad as it gets.
And look, Liljegren hasn't been good with him. He's just better because the other guys have struggled so much. So trade deadline's coming up, and if you need TJ Brody, he's our best defender, especially with Muzzin out. But if you need him to play with Riley, it dictates all the rest of the matchups here, right? I actually don't mind Connor Timmins. But if Brody has to play the right side, Connor Timmins is easily the odd man out. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. If Riley can get back, and if one of those guys can go play with him, even just okay, like our other buddy Ilya Lyubushkin last year. It wasn't a great fit. He was just okay, right? So it'll be interesting to see.
It sure will, and listen, we hope he gets right or finds his way. But it's something when you've got a guy locked up for 8 years at $7.5 million, and you can't find him a partner.
Yeah, let's point out the last game he was the best defenseman on the Leafs. He was outstanding last game. So it's coming.
He'll get there. He's good. He'll get back.
I don't have any fear when Brody's around. Brody's assuming he's able to come back from this latest one and perform as well as he did the last time he came back.
I got to talk to him. See, when he's done, if he come down here and be my partner, I'll play for another 20 years.
Yeah. Maybe coach a little motivational speaking for 44. Maybe next time we can go. Get in his
I think I was speaking to him like for the last 10 games because, no kidding. Get pucks to the net, right, fellas? That's all you say.
All you say. Okay, well, there you have it, folks. One goalie down, one goalie up. Tavares isn't playing his best. Willie's been great. Matthews misses some games, comes back, he's on fire. There's ups and downs. We're here through it all. We're here for you. We're right here on the OZone.
You're my man, Elliot.